You can't see me.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody. This is Move Easy Yoga online with Dia, and the date is August 22nd, 2020. And yesterday, Leslie had a birthday. Happy birthday, Leslie. So I started with a picture of this guy. We're going to do neck and shoulders on the floor, supine. He's doing his work, some of his work. Oh no, we're going to do this seated. We're going to do some of this movement seated today. But we're also going to do therapy ball work with the neck and the shoulders. So I'm going to stop the share and put the spotlight on Kathy. I can find her. There she is. Thank you for coming back, Kathy. We missed you. We're going to start in the ordinary fashion. Just lying down with knees bent. If you have a lower back issue, you can use, Kathy has a little mobility strip underneath her waist, which actually creates more stability in the spine. And you could do the same thing if you have a mobility strip. If you don't have a mobility strip, I have a bunch in Puerto Vallarta. Not in Puerto Vallarta, you can roll up a towel and make it mimic a strip. Just staying here, taking a few minutes to allow your mind to follow your body into the room, the virtual room. Thinking about why you came. Feeling the floor support you, support your back. The floor and the universe has your back. And then bring your arms behind your head, interlace your fingers, or stack your hands. We're going to do a vagus nerve reset to bring, using the occipital nerve in the eyeball to trigger a reset of the vagus nerve and return the nervous system to the restorative healing side of the system. We spend a lot of time in fight and flight. This exercise, the quickest way I know to get back to the healing side of the system. So without moving anything else but your eyeballs, your eyes can be open or closed. Go ahead and move your eyeballs to the right. And wait for an involuntary sigh, yawn, swallow, or gulp. If you're new to this practice movement, it may not happen, but it'll happen as you practice the move. Bring back to center, bring your head back to center. Shift your eyeballs only to the left. Wait for a sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Return to center. Repeat this move on both sides, 2 more sets. So right, left, without my cueing. Gloria, we're doing welcome, and we're doing vagus nerve reset. And when you've finished that, keep your arms where they are. We're going to do some head ramping. So this time, what you're doing is just pressing the back of the base of the skull, at the occipital ridge, into your hands and into the floor, holding for a couple breaths and then releasing. Press, hold, and release, and do that about 4 more times. This is a movement I would recommend you do if you have a forward, if your head is forward over your in front of your shoulders, this will start to correct that, but you could do it every hour. If you work at a computer or you use your phone a lot, your cell phone, or if you drive a lot. Anything that moves your head forward in front of your shoulders, which is can create a lot of pain, injury and pain. This can reverse that. Finish up. Bring your arms beside your hips. We're going to do Viloma breathing. This is our breath work segment. So starting to breathe on your inhale, divide your inhale into 3 parts. Inhale, fill 1/3 of the lungs, pause. Inhale again, fill the second third, pause, and inhale again, fill the last third of the lungs, diaphragm, and then pause, and then an ordinary exhale. You can actually divide the exhale into 3 parts, but I don't do that in a class, especially with newcomers present. So continue this breathing pattern. I really like Viloma breathing for COVID. So for creating healthy respiratory system in case we get COVID. And if you get COVID, or you know of anyone who has it, this would be a nice breathing pattern. A couple more breaths. Stay where you are. We're going to do a hypopressive, the bridge hypopressive. Why don't you put a brick between your knee, a block, thin, on the thin side between your knees, just to make this pose do double duty. So your heels are on the floor, your toes are towards the ceiling. That's ankle and foot dorsiflexion. Bring what you're going to do is we're going to take 3 breaths. I'll cue the breaths, and then after the 3rd breath, you're going to hold your breath out, no breath for 10 counts, while you lift your hips, create a straight line between your knees and your shoulders, and bring your arms overhead at the same time. And I count to 10, and then you come out of that. Okay, let's get started. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Hold your breath out, no breath. Lift your hips, bring your arms overhead, stay here. 1, squeeze your brick. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale, come on down, and exhale, arms down. Inhale, hips down, exhale, arms down. We're going to do it again. What was I going to say? You could use a sponge ball instead of a brick between your thighs and knees. Okay, 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath, inhale. Exhale. No breath. Lift your hips and bring your arms overhead. Squeeze your brick or sponge ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale, hips come down, and exhale, the arms come down. Let's go on. We're going to do, this morning, we're going to do neck and jaw series. You'll need 2 therapy balls in a tote or 2 tennis balls in a sock or a sponge ball. And you may need a brick to put your balls on. They can be these plus size balls or the alpha balls, the larger balls, if you have them. You're going to lie on your back and put the balls horizontal at the occipital ridge. Your knees are bent. And the trick is to keep the therapy balls horizontal at the occipital ridge. Don't let them come back down into the curvature of the spine or you'll lose the work. So just starting to nod, chin up, chin down, slowly. Let's do it 9 times. Slowly, chin up, chin down, just rolling over the ball. If you're just getting used to having the ball capturing the ball in this way, you'll probably need to make some adjustments or help your ball by holding on to it occasionally. Two more. And come back to center, and you move side to side. So go to the left and go to the right. Actually, this is a good pre-test and post-test movement without the balls, but we didn't do the pre. Maybe we'll do the post, because this neck and jaw series should increase your range of motion when you look left and right. Come back to center. And make a figure 8 with your nose. 9 times one direction and 9 times the other direction. Reverse your direction if you haven't already. And just come back to center. So those were 3 moves, a triplet of moves on the ball, therapy ball supine. Now take 1 ball out of the bag and lie on your side. And the first ball placement, and you may want to put a brick underneath, even if you didn't have one before, a brick underneath your 1 ball. The first placement is behind the earlobe, just behind where your ear ring backing is. So the ear is in front of the ball. And just feel that for a while. Some people may feel a lot of tension. Just lying here. This is called compression, when all you're doing is letting the weight of your body press your body into the balls. And now start to nod, chin up, chin down. Magic 9. And then when you're done with that, side to side, it's a small side to side. You're not going all the way back to center with your head. It's a small, you're still looking on your side. You're still side lying. And now take it to position 2, which is at the cheek, in the cheekbone. There's a little indent below your cheekbone. And put the ball there. That's this location number 2 on the side lying series. And then just start to nod, chin up and chin down. And then the other direction, just side to side over the ball. And now open and close your mouth 9 times. Bring your ball to the third location, side-lying location, which is at the temple. And nod up and down. And then side to side 9 times. This is actually a great series for insomnia. And then go ahead and flip to the other side. And now, Leslie, are you using your sponge ball now? I can't, I asked you a question, but I can't hear you. Are you using your,
On the other one, because it's that one.
you just completed using the sponge ball instead of the therapy ball? How did that work? Was that better?
I don't know. I'll let you know later.
Oh, okay. So Leslie was having trouble when she was on one side of this series, the sideline. She would have a lot of discomfort on the other side, her traps on the other side, basically. So we're trying to figure out how to work with that. Okay, so now you're on the other side. And we've got to start all over. So the first sideline position is behind the ear. Behind the earlobe. This is another area where people hold a lot of tension. If you're just starting this work, it will dissipate. Just nodding 9 times. However, the rule of thumb on pain, discomfort in therapy ball work is if it dissipates as you go, as you continue, it's good pain. If it gets more intense as you continue, you should probably stop doing it and do something else or do something in another neighborhood. Side to side when you're ready. And then go ahead and move the ball to the cheekbone, just below the cheekbone. And now move the, so we did up and down, now do side to side. So there are 3 different moves at the cheekbone, up and down, side to side, and then open and close your jaw. If you have jaw tension, you might want to spend a lot of time here. So Kathy's opening and closing her jaw, the third movement. And then whenever you're ready, move your ball to the last location at the temple. And just nod up and down. There are several different locations at the temple that might work for you. So just find the one, you know, if this is in your home practice, you can spend a lot of time here. All of this work may help with tight jaw, but it also helps with migraines. And then side to side. And when you're done with that, if you want, as a bonus, you can turn your face into the brick and put the ball on your forehead and press, maybe even at the third eye, and press. I actually do this while I'm still sidelining. I just turn my head, but Kathy's turned her.
Oh,
Either way is fine.
okay.
You should know it's either way. And we hold a lot of tension up here on our foreheads. So it doesn't quite fit into the series, but if you feel like you want to do it at the end, because it's not one side or the other, right? Okay, come on back. Come up to seated, to your favorite floor seated position. I think there might be some new people in the class. So Kathy, maybe you could demonstrate a few of your favorite floor seated positions. So cross-legged, and remember, any of these positions you could sit on a brick, which is going to help you with your good posture. So cross-legged. Remember, you want to switch legs in the middle if you are doing that. I call this knee Z. So your knees are in the shape of a Z or an S. That's one. And then the other side, yep. Knee Z. And then what about hero's pose? On your knee, you're on your knees. You know, some people can't get there. If they have bad knees, they can't get here. But they might be able to get here with a brick under their hips. What else is there? There's more, got to be more than that.
Okay.
You can sit with your both knees bent in front of you. That's the. Okay, so find your best floor-seated position. We're going to do a cervical side bend. Well, no, yeah, so we're going to do some neck work here, seated. So find your best position, sit tall, drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Right ear to right shoulder. Stay here and hold for a couple breaths. And then before you return your head to center, drop your chin towards your armpit for another stretch, a slightly different stretch. And hold here and breathe. So hopefully you guys are doing things, all of your movements with breath and attention to breath and attention to movement. Bring your head back to, you're still leaning, but bring it back to center. Now bring it totally up to the center. Return, 2 returns. Left ear to left shoulder. Just stay here and breathe. It's a cervical side bend. While you're here, drop your chin forward towards your armpit. You'll feel a slightly different stretch in a slightly different place along the opposite side of the neck or cervical spine. Come back to the original side bending position, and then bring your head all the way up. We're gonna do a totally different stretch actually by adding resistance to this movement. So go ahead and drop your right ear to your right shoulder and put your right hand on your left ear. And press into your left ear. No, press into your right hand, but is on your left ear. Press the left ear into your right hand. Resistance, so you should feel the stretch in a different place in the neck. Just stay here and breathe. Should feel good. You should say, oh, there's another place to wake up. And then go ahead and drop your chin towards your armpit. And actually, you probably should have released the resistance and then return the resistance instead of still pressing on the neck when you switched positions. Push into the right hand with the left side of your face, your head. Feel the difference. Drop your chin. If you didn't already, drop your chin towards your armpit and press in. I think I already said that, so you get a little bonus. Come back, return your head to over the torso, and then bring your head all the way up to center. Let's do it on the left side. Left ear to left shoulder. Take your left hand and put it on your right ear. So left ear, let's see. Left ear, left shoulder.
Right shoulder.
What?
I think it's right ear to right shoulder now. No.
Well, I started with right. You might not have started with right, but I said right.
I did right. And
now you're doing left. So left ear to left, trust me. Left, if you did right, now you're doing left. Left ear to left shoulder. And then go ahead and put your left hand on your right ear and press the right side of your head into your hand. So this resistance, this is the resistance version. We're adding resistance to this cervical side bend. And just breathe. And then release the resistance for a minute to drop your chin forward towards your armpit, and then continue to resist. So press in to the hand that's on the head. And take some breaths here. Release your hand, the resistance hand, bring your head back to center, and then bring it up. So Joanne is having audio trouble. Do you think no audio? Joanne, click on audio down at the left corner, mute. There's a mute button with a little caret next to it. And check your audio. Check your audio. Or check your volume. So those are the two things you can do when you lose audio. Check your volume, check your audio settings. Go ahead, we're gonna do just some shoulder shrugs. So just lift your shoulders up as high as you can to all the way to your ears. Hold, and then release. And then do it again. Up, up, up. And drop. Shake your hands. And then start moving them up towards the sky. Shake, shake, shake. Keep shaking. Shake, shake, shake. All the way up till they're straight up. And now stop shaking. Feel the energy. Keep your hands high for a minute. And then just drop your hands into your lap. Now we're going to do the new variation on the spine twist. So you're going to sit. You could sit on a brick. Sit on the floor with your knees in front of you. So both of your knees are in front of you. No, on the floor, your feet are on the floor. Your knees are in front of you. No. Yep, that's it. I think, Kathy, you should be sideways. So let's say you should be, we're going to start with the right arm. You actually would be better to have you on the other side, face the other side. So we can see what you're, well, maybe, yeah, maybe the other side. This is fine. So you're sitting as tall as you can, holding on to both of your legs, knees with your right hand. Sit tall. Let your knees and your arm help you sit tall. Take your left arm behind you onto the floor. Try to get your shoulders parallel to the mat. As far behind you as you can. Take some breaths here. And now take a minute or two to shift your torso right, left. So it's a movement. It's not the arm that's moving. So the rib cage is moving towards your right elbow and then away from it, moving towards and away. So this may be a very small movement for you, especially if your rib cages and your intercostal muscles are tight. But you should feel it along your mid and upper back. Side to side, it's a little wiggle side to side from the spine twist position. Play with that. It might not feel like anything to you now, but as we continue to do that, which I think I will, you'll find more of it. Go ahead and switch to the other side. So the knees are forward. You're sitting as straight as you can. Hugging your knees with your left hand. Your right arm goes behind you. Try to get your shoulders parallel to the mat. And let's just do a little bit of timing here. Because this is a spine twist. This is going to help you build new bone, new, strong, healthy bones. We're going to stay here for a few minutes, not a few minutes, a few seconds. Sit tall. Rotate, have your rotation be from the belly button, not the upper back. And then go ahead and do this wiggling movement. So at the belly button side, the bottom of the rib cage, just shift from side to side. It's a wiggle from side to side, just trying to create a little bit of space in the intercostal muscles that are between the ribs, side to side, while you're in this spine twist position. And then come on back and come into a cross-legged position. And we're going to just do a flat back forward fold. Should be a nice stretch after the side bends and slides. We haven't done a side bend. Well, let's do a side bend first. So this is easier. This may be easier. Just put your right hand on the floor. Bring your left arm up and over. You may want to crawl your right arm forward on the floor. So just keeping your hips even on the floor. Breathing. And then before we return, go ahead and drop your elbow forward, finding another stretch. The first stretch was in the QL along the side body. This stretch is along the back side body, the latissimus dorsi. Finding the second stretch, just because we're here and we can do it. The most efficient use of our time. Come back to center and come all the way up. And left hand on down, right arm up and over. Keep your hips on the floor and even. Side bending, stretching along the outside and crunching on the inside of the thoracic spine. And working with the quadratus lumborum, which is a waist muscle that loves to have attention. And then go ahead and drop your right elbow forward, no longer working on QL, now working on latissimus dorsi. You should feel the shift to a stretch along the side, the back of the side body, the side of the back body, either one. And then bring your elbow up, and then bring your whole body up. Very nice. We're not going to do flat back because I want to move on and have you stand up and do the back bend at the wall. We're going to do 3 standing poses. Joanne, did you get back? Did you get the audio back? Let me know. Okay, standing with this is one of my favorite poses right now. I think it builds some strong bone and strong bones and in the upper body. So Kathy's going to sit standing up a little away from the wall, and then her arms go up overhead.
Audio went down, Via. I can barely hear you.
Huh, hold on.
Oh, that's better.
Oh, okay. I moved away from them. I have a little auxiliary mic. Okay, so Kathy's going to bring her arms up overhead, palms on the wall, chest out. So that's the critical part, is to open your chest and let your arms overhead help you do that. And then we're going to start timing for 30 seconds, which allows the osteocytes to kick in and build some new bone. So if you have osteoporosis, if you have osteopenia, if you want to avoid osteoporosis or osteopenia, if you want to avoid thinning bones and compression fractures, this is a good way to do it. I'm having trouble with my timer. Oh, I know why. Huh. I had it on 30 minutes instead of 30 seconds. But I was like, what is, it looked more like a countdown timer to me. Well, that's probably enough for this. Go ahead and come out of it, wiggle, stretch, whatever you want to do, and then go back up and we'll do it one more time. I love this pose. I do it in the swimming pool against the side of the pool. I do it on my walls at home. And I feel like the fact that the hands are behind you, pressing into the wall, the chest is pressing out, away from the wall, opening up, that pressure, that resistance that's created there is what invites the osteocytes to come back and get down to business. Okay, let's do a side bend at the wall. I hope you like that as well as I do. Let's do a side bend at the wall. And we're going to hold that also. This is a bone building pose. We haven't been focusing on bone building poses today, but this is one of them. 1 foot forward, the inside foot forward, the outside foot backward, behind the inside. So lined up, the arch lined up with the heel of the front foot. This is actually a yoga stance. And now from here, bring your hands into cactus and then bring them towards twist. So it's a rotation. Try to rotate at the navel towards the wall and use the hands. You might want to be even closer to the wall, Kathy. I don't know. That might get you a little more of a twist. But we're going to just start timing. This is a great spine twist. There are others that look more like the yoga poses you know in your class, in traditional yoga classes. But this is one of them. Let's see. Do you feel the arms helping you with your twist? Okay, good. Switch sides. Slowly switch sides. The right leg forward, left leg back at an angle. Bring your arms up into a cactus pose and then rotate towards the wall. So the hips stay forward, the hips stay forward, but obviously at the waist, you're rotating towards the wall. There are some other versions of this that one of these days I'm going to get to. To teaching. Before I do them, I have to practice them myself a little bit. This is from Lauren Fishman's series on yoga and osteoporosis. Come back. We're going to do tree pose. You can stand with a wall. You can stand, let's do it Kathy's way. So Kathy's using a chair. You could use a wall though. And now just bringing your one leg up. So make sure the foot is on the outside, the inside of the leg, not the front of the leg, the opposite leg. So you're not in front of the opposite leg and the inside there. So either you're up by the groin or you're just above the knee or you're just below the knee or your toes could be on the floor, but to the side like that. So that's your foot position. We're going to time this also and see if you can stay up for 30 seconds. Choose your foot location and then bring your arms either into prayer pose or you can bring your arms up overhead and touch your palms. If you have the stability for that, one way to maintain stability is to look straight ahead to an unmoving point on the opposite wall. The reason this is called a tree is because you may wiggle a little bit, just like a tree would wiggle. You should feel the core, your core work, your core supporting you in this movement. Go ahead and switch sides. Tree pose. So if this is too much for any of you, you can just put your legs straight forward. Can you show them that, Kathy? Just put your legs straight forward and we'll time for you. Roll up and bend the knee. Bend the knee like that. Yeah, something like that. So that's just another alternative. There are lots of balancing alternatives, but the tree is nice because the tree is nice for bone building is because of the hip rotation. It's bone building also in the femur and the acetabulum, the hip socket. Go ahead and find your position, find your hand position, and look at an unmoving point across the room. And breathe. And come on back. Find your way onto the floor, onto your belly. We're going to do a little bit of prone back extension before we close the class. So lying on your belly, if you have a sensitive pubic bone, like I do, you'll need to put a towel or a blanket underneath your pubic bone. Lying on your belly with your hands by your hips, alongside your hips, palms up. We're going to do level 1 and level 2.
Need to make sure you can see me. There we go.
Thank you. And take an inhale to prepare and an exhale to lift your arms, your chest, and your head, but keep your spine, your cervical spine in line with your thoracics. Drop your chin a little bit, Kathy. Hold here. See if you can lift a little higher or not. And then inhale to prepare to return, and then exhale to return to the floor. Now we're going to add airplane with the arms out in a T. Take an inhale to prepare and exhale to lift. Come up to level 1. Stay here. Inhale to prepare for airplane and exhale to bring your arms out to the side. Stay here. Breathe. Lift your chest up a little bit higher if you can or not. And then inhale to prepare to return and exhale, just return all the way down. Let's do a couple of thoracic spine twists. Bring your arms out into a T. Look to the right. Keep your shoulders and your armpits and your arms on the floor, not moving. Lift your right leg and take it over your left leg. Your hips move, can move. You can even bend your knee. Just stay here, working on the upper back. Amazingly, you think this is a hip movement. Come on back. Return, Kathy. And then look to the left. Lift the left leg, bring it over the right, the back of the right leg. Stay here. And return. That's all we're going to have time for. Find your way onto your back. for Yoga Nidra, 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. You may want to cover yourself with a blanket. You may want to cover your eyes with, you may want to put socks on or a jacket. You may want to cover your eyes with a washcloth. I'm going to read 61-point guided meditation, starting with breath. So you're going to pay attention to the points that I mentioned with your mind, but don't move. Don't move anything. Starting with your breath, breathing in and out. Now bring your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes the 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Go ahead and start to return your attention to the room. Feel your body in the room. Extend your legs and extend your arms overhead. Extend your legs along the mat. Try to create a stretch that creates space between your pelvis and your rib cage. Hopefully you feel that nice spine twist with the wiggle, intercostal wiggle. And just wiggle and stretch and circle your ankles and your wrists. Hug your right knee to your chest and then your left. And hug both knees to your chest. And rock from side to side. This is a great stretch for the lower back. Roll all the way to the side into a fetal position. Use your bottom arm as a pillow. Stay here for about 30 seconds so you don't get dizzy when you come up to your floor, the next position, the four-seated position. And then whenever you're ready, take your top hand, pat yourself up to seated without rounding your back, please. Unmute yourself. I'm going to cancel the spotlight on Kathy and move it to the gallery view so I can see everybody. You can do that too. I can't do that, the gallery view for you, but I did take the spotlight off for you. Let's go ahead and bring your hands into prayer pose. press really strongly your hands together. See if you can find a little bit more shoulder work this way. And then release that. And lift the back of the skull, just like we do with head ramping. Lift the back of the skull. And then roll it forward over the cervical spine, the top of the cervical spine, C1. Roll it over, nod your head. Bowing, honoring each other, recognizing the light in each of us recognizing the light in each of the other of us, and just recognizing that we are all one light. We're going to close the class by bowing, continuing to bow and saying to each other, Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I'm gonna stop the recording. You can stay on if you want, if you have questions or comments or feedback or any other little thing.